Friendly family environment, offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Still a little over 3 weeks to go in the regular season, but it is starting to feel like playoff baseball here at Athletic Kulture Stadium as the Barrie Baycats and the Welland Jackfish duke it out for the next two games, a home and home tonight and Saturday. Just 3 games separating these two top teams in the IBL standings.
You can always tell when there's higher stakes. We're getting towards the end of the season. The fans start to come out a little bit more. We've got another great crowd on country night, so the Baycats, they want to get a win. They always thrive in these tight, hostile big crowd environments. We'll see it again tonight.
It was an early arriving crowd tonight as well here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. These fans are hyped up and ready to go. Let's take a look at the Welland Jackfish starting lineup for manager Brian Essery. Joe Weisner is the second baseman and leadoff hitter. Gianfranco Morello bats second in center field. Mateo Porcelato is the right fielder hitting third. Thomas Green in the cleanup spot and DHing tonight. James Smybert at third bats fifth. Robert Mullen, the veteran catcher, in the number 6 spot. Grayson Barrett hits seventh at first base. Brendan Luther, the shortstop, hitting eighth. And batting ninth is Brandon Houpe in left field.
On the mound, we mentioned it earlier, how these two teams sending their aces to the mound tonight. Well, the Baycats no different. Frank Garces coming into this one, a 4-2 record, this being his 12th appearance, 11th start of the year, 74 innings already this year. He's already eclipsed his single-season strikeout record, now with 94 to lead the IBL, and an ERA now under 3, 2.55.
Yeah, the strikeouts have been the big story for Frank Garces here in 2025. Last year was one of 3 Baycats pitchers who paced this ball club with 7 wins as he does a little bit of groundskeeping in front of the mound and gets ready to start this ball game for us here tonight on a beautiful summer evening. Temperature has really dropped over the last few days. The humidity has cleared out. Looking at about 22, 23 degrees and a beautiful sunny sky. A little bit of haze, but it's not cloud cover. It's just a little bit of a hazy sky here today for these fans in Barrie.
Mentioning Frank Garces' strikeouts as we kind of led on there, we could very well see Garces eclipse the single-season franchise record for strikeouts. Cesar Rosado set that last year with 105. Garces 11 away from tying that, and he's had multiple 11 strikeout appearances this year, even one with 12, so it could be in the cards tonight.
Yeah, a very interesting storyline as this season has unfolded, how it's kind of been a reversal between Garces and Rosado, both equally outstanding again this season, but it has been Mr. Garces putting up the high strikeouts for last year. Cesar Rosado led the way. A little bit of a delay getting started here. Josh Magnay, the catcher tonight, out to the mound to have a quick chat with Garces, and now Garces will step off. Maybe he's not happy with some of the ground in front of the pitcher's mound, or it's actually an issue with Josh Magnay, the Baycats catcher. It looks like he's getting a quick look over on that right forearm.
Yeah, he started last night's game too in Toronto, so he's getting the extra experience. Andrew Johnston now with the Great Britain national team at the European Championship, so Baycats will have to stick it out with a little bit less of catcher depth than maybe expected to have in this tough stretch.
So Garces went all the way back to the shortstop position, and he'll just take his time as they look over Josh Magnay. He had a really nice contingent of family and friends at Christie Pitts last night enjoying that ball game. Got a chance to sit with them and get to know his mom and his grandma and a whole bunch of younger friends, siblings, some of them I think, that were there to cheer on Josh. And he had probably 10 or 15 people out there cheering for him last night.
Yeah, and he's from the Toronto area too, so you know the family is going to be all there supporting him. But they've been supporting him up here in Barrie as well. He's had a great year, and every time that he's appeared with the big IBL club, he's shown out well.
Filipino family, and they brought food. Lots and lots of food. And we're very generous in sharing it with all of us last night. We certainly appreciated that. That's one thing at Christie Pitts, there aren't a lot of concession options that are close by the seating area. If you want to get a bite to eat, you got to go out to center field or take a walk up and down Bloor Street. Once you get out there, the choices are abundant. But
well, you always have a late game Bloor Street visit when you're there at the pits, right?
I did. I picked up some cookies. I found a nice little cookie spot about 2 blocks from Bloor and Christie, the corner. So
remember, you were recommending that one to me earlier. Last time we were at the pits.
Definitely worth a visit. And you'll only miss an inning or two if you make a quick stop over there. Pitching coach and veteran reliever Brad Grieveson back with the ball club after a little bit of touring in the U.S. and visiting some different cities and coaching and helping his son's team out. Let's check in with Maddie Gale, who might have some information for us.
Yeah, I was talking to his girlfriend down there, and she told me that he's been complaining about between his elbow and his hand not being able to feel it, and it feels like tight. Thinks that he might have pinched a nerve almost on his shoulder. He said it's been happening for a week where he feels like he can't even feel the ball when it's actually in his hand. He thought it'd be better for tonight, but clearly it's not, so he's not going to be playing tonight.
Thank you, Maddie. Appreciate the information, and fingers crossed for Joshua that he'll be able to get in some action here in the final few weeks of the regular season. But the news there certainly not good to hear at this point in the season for Joshua Magne.
Well, it sounds like something similar to what we saw with Ethan Morris, the kind of struggles that he's had with his shoulder. We haven't seen him pitch in quite some time. That one outing that he had here where he struggled to get through a third of an inning, was throwing wild, couldn't control his pitches. Similar kind of thing. He had a nerve impingement in his shoulder. Hopefully that's not the case for Joshua Magne.
So a substitution will be made, and we'll wait for that. We can tell you these teams are playing again Saturday night at Welland Stadium, and I'm sure the Baycat contingent will be well represented for the back half of this home and home between the Jackfish and the Baycats. Now for Welland, it's beach party night. So we've got country night here tonight. They're doing their beach party night on Saturday. We had our tropical night here. Yeah, we get some fans here. I think they're going to show up in Welland. Ryan Harrison will be rocking the Panama shirt and the Bermuda shorts, I'm sure. And you'll want to be wearing your beach party gear if you're heading to that game in Welland on Saturday evening.
When you compare the country night that we have here at Athletic Kulture Stadium to the tropical night that we had earlier on this year, very different. The players, they get into it a little bit. They seem to kind of ease into tropical night in terms of going along with some of the theme nights we have here throughout the year. But then country night, that's your time to shine. That's when everyone goes all out. Guys have boots and overalls and cowboy hats during batting practice. It's really fun sight to see.
So we'll see who handles catching duties here. Seems to be a bit of a long, slow process getting somebody ready. I'm not sure if Tyler Plumpton is the available backup tonight.
It sounds like it's going to be James Anderson. Hasn't caught in a couple years, at least in the IBL. Back in 23, he had a couple catching appearances. Still yet to qualify for the playoffs, so this could be a good opportunity to get him some game action and some big hostile opportunities ahead of the playoffs.
He'll definitely want some time to warm up too, so it's going to be a while before we get this game underway here tonight.
We'll go to commercial.
And we'll take a short break, and we'll be back with more for you here from Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township. Welland Jackfish and Barrie Baycats tonight, and we'll get it started when we return.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot.
I'm Christy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
And we're back at the Athletic Kulture Stadium. Late substitution as James Anderson will come in and take over catching duties for scheduled starter Joshua Magne. James out for a quick chat with Frank Garces. Make sure they got the signals straight. And this crowd, which is pretty quiet for about 10 minutes or so, will try to get things amped up once again.
It's kind of like that calm before the storm that build the anticipation up for this huge matchup.
First pitch from Frank Garces. That's a called strike. 7:48 our first pitch tonight here in Springwater. Jonah Weisner, the second baseman. Fouls it back to the screen. Garces quickly ahead here, 0-2.
That's going to be a key theme tonight for the appearance of Frank Garces. Getting ahead early in counts, what he does so well. That first pitch strike, well over 3/4 of the time he's getting that.
It's 0-2. Here's the pitch from Garces on the ground to short. Scooped up by Hernandez. The throw is in time for the first out of the inning.
Let's give you the defense for the Barrie Baycats. Behind Frank Garces, in the outfield from left to right, it's Tristan Clark, Noel McGarry Doyle, and Clayton Keys. On the infield, Noah Hall at third, Brandon Hernandez at short, Adam Ahd is back at second, Nolan Macabrota at first, and as we mentioned, James Anderson coming in for Josh Magne behind the plate.
And we should tell you that Willie Garcia has been released from the ball club. Clayton Keys handling duties in right field tonight.
Yeah, Keys got the start last night in left. Tristan Clark got that little bit of a day off before he had a couple pinch hitting opportunities later on in the game, and then Willie Garcia got the start in right, but his time with the Baycats has not continued into Thursday.
Certainly lots of options, and now with Clayton Keys healthy, that'll give him some time out there in right field, I'm sure. Tristan Clark has really settled into left quite nicely. There's a called strike to Gio Morello. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Garces looks in, rocks into the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. Morello, 322 through 31 games for the Jackfish here in 2025. Here comes the crowd behind Garces. He kicks and deals, and it's a line drive to center field, a base hit. 1 on, 1 out for the Jackfish here in the first inning.
This is a guy that you don't want to have on first base with 1 out in an inning. Guy with so much speed like Gio Morello. The lefty on the mound, Frank Garces, he's got to be careful here, but keep Morello honest at first base. It's going to be a big connection between him and Macabrota.
Here's a man who's putting up MVP-like numbers, Mateo Porcelato. 429 batting average coming into this game tonight. Not a lot of soft spots in this Welland Jackfish batting lineup. Morello the lead at first, and taking for a strike is Porcelato.
It's crazy to think how you have guys like Morello, Porcelato, guys that are typically, you might think of them as leadoff hitters because of their ability to get on base and their speed. But the way Jonah Weisner's been hitting all year long, and even for a good stretch of his career, he seems to be the guy that's consistently getting hits.
Runner goes. Here's the throw from Anderson. The tag, not in time. That is the third stolen base of the season for Gio Morello.
Surprising that Morello only has 3 now at this point in the season. A guy that's led the IBL in stolen bases multiple times before.
Got to expect these Jackfish will be testing the arm of James Anderson all night long, and that's no disrespect to James, but not a position that he has played a whole lot lately, and certainly didn't have much time to get his arm loosened up. Coming in an emergency situation here for Josh Magne.
Exactly. It's just that situation that Anderson's been put in. He's going to be tested early. You might expect Morello to even go for 3 here.
1-2 the count. Garces looks over his shoulder and delivers on the ground right side. It's picked up by Macabrota. The toss to Garces, and he wins the foot race for the out. Porcelato retired 3-1, and Morello will advance to third. So the Jackfish with a run 90 feet away now for cleanup man Thomas Green.
Thomas Green, a new pickup for these Welland Jackfish, comes in a Division I player from Purdue. Jackfish very active at the deadline. They got Green a couple days ahead of the actual deadline itself, but they also got Pedro De Los Santos. A really nice addition from the Brantford Red Sox on the final day as well, and I know Brian Estrie is very excited about that.
First pitch to Green, swing and a miss. Strike one. Green just getting his feet wet, as you mentioned. 5th game since joining Welland. 267 average coming into today. No score, top of the 1st, runner at 3rd, 2 out. Frank Garces to the belt. Delivers. Misses low and in. Count even 1-1.
And Green started the year with Ottawa in the Frontier League, and before the season even started, he was traded to Fargo-Moorhead in the American Association. And from there, he struggled a little bit, 17 games played, and gets released, and he's got a really nice opportunity here in Welland on a top team.
1-1 is fouled back to the screen, and now Garces a strike away from getting out of the top of the 1st. Third baseman James Smybert is on deck. Count 1-2. Frank Garces takes a deep breath as he looks in. Anderson puts down the fingers, sets the target. The 1-2 pitch. Popped up, right side, down the line, and it'll bounce foul, well out of the reach of everybody. Count holds 1-2 here. Green looking for his first RBI as a Welland Jackfish. The 1-2 count, a 2 out of the inning. Garces is ready. The 1-2 once again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout brought to you by IMP North, and the Jackfish strand a runner here in the top of the 1st inning. We're scoreless at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
No runs, 1 hit.
Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
First inning of play is brought to you by Park Place, Barrie's Grand Slam destination for dining, shopping, and fun. See you after the game.
And here come Josh Matlow's Barrie Baycats. Leadoff hitter Noel McGarry-Doyle in center field on the way to the plate. Behind him, Brandon Hernandez, the shortstop, batting second, and Tristan Clark, the left fielder, batting third. Cleanup hitter is first baseman Nolan Macabrota. Francisco Hernandez up to number 5 in the order. He's at first base, DHing tonight. Noah Hull at third base batting 6th. Clayton Keys in right field batting 7th. It'll be James Anderson in for Joshua Magnan catching and hitting 8th, and Adam Odd at second base batting 9th.
On the mound for the Welland Jackfish, mentioned it. You could argue that this is their ace, either him or Ben Abram, but it's Teodoro Ortega. Pitched in the All-Star game earlier this year, an ERA of 3.86. He's had kind of a resurgent season for the Welland Jackfish, 5-1, an ERA of 2 even.
And the first pitch from Ortega, Noel McGarry-Doyle lays down a bunt right in front of home plate. There's the throw. It's not in time. A bunt single for Noel McGarry-Doyle, and the Baycats get the leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the first inning.
Perfect play by Noel McGarry-Doyle, taking advantage of the defense for Welland, which is as follows. Brandon Hupe is in left field, Gio Morello in center, Mateo Porcelato gets the start in right, James Smybert back in the IBL, he's at third base, Brendan Luther's at short, Jonah Weisner at second, Grayson Barrett at first, and it's Robert Mullen behind the plate.
Brandon Hernandez hitting .266, coming off an outstanding season in 2024. Runner goes, and it's fouled over the screen. McGarry-Doyle in with a head-first slide and an incredible jump. He'll sprint back to first. Teo Ortega, 8 starts, 8 appearances. Delivers, and it's hit to center field and caught on the line. And the throw in from Gio Morello to keep Noel McGarry-Doyle at first base, 1 away.
Tight play there for Noel McGarry-Doyle, but did the right thing. Didn't go too far on the way towards second base. Wasn't really a full hit-and-run style play, but Morello has a strong arm, and that throw was only maybe a second and a half behind. Not that far.
That could be a dangerous situation if you send a runner like that, and then it's a line drive, and it's not a lot of time to get back and avoid getting doubled off. Fortunately, McGarry-Doyle had plenty of time there. This one on the ground, through into right field, base hit. Rounding second is McGarry-Doyle. He'll head into third with a head-first slide. Baycats have runners on the corners with 1 away.
Tristan Clark put the ball in a perfect spot with Grayson Barrett holding the runner on at first. He was stuck to that line pretty much, and just far enough away, got out of the reach of Barrett in the right field, and a perfect opportunity for Noel McGarry-Doyle to take third.
Nolan Macabrota basically erases whatever remaining chalk was in the right batter's box. And he'll take a deep breath, having an outstanding season, hitting .328. A tall left-hander looks into Teo Ortega. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Foul back. Macabrota with power, 3 homers, 28 RBIs, and he was a home run derby contestant this year in Hamilton. One out in the inning. A deep fly ball can obviously bring home the game's first run. Here's the pitch. On the ground, right side, through into right field. Here comes Noel McGarry-Doyle. That's an RBI single for Nolan Macabrota. 1-0 Baycats.
And again, it's that hit and run put in motion by the Baycats. Tristan Clark was off on that pitch. He takes third base just like Noel McGarry-Doyle before him. And another run driven in by Macabrota. He's been an RBI machine throughout his entire time with the Baycats, proving it again tonight.
Francisco Hernandez. Missed a little bit of time mid-season with injury, 22 games. Has the average holding at .308. Runners on the corners, 1 out. First pitch from Ortega. A little looping curveball, missed. 1-0.
Hernandez got the start at first base last night. He only had 1 or 2 starts at second base since coming back from injury, pardon me.
Fouled over the screen. Ortega likes to have those pants up high, just under the knee, showing off those green socks with the white stripes. Similar to James Smybert at third.
Similar to Francisco Hernandez with the red.
Yeah, very true. 1-1 the count. Ortega deals. Outside, count 2-1.
That ball had crazy movement on it. Just maybe slipped out of the hand of Ortega there, but maybe a slider out of his hand there. But you could tell the movement right out of his hand was early and quite noticeable.
1-0 Barrie on an RBI single by Nolan Macabrota. If you're just joining us, bottom of the first. Francisco Hernandez looking to add some more. Takes a pitch, hits on the outside corner. Strike 2. Ortega strikeout walk ratio outstanding, 57 strikeouts, just 8 walks in his 8 starts this season. Swing and a miss by Hernandez. 2 away in the inning. Well, I'll tell you, if you can average just 1 walk per start, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
That's really good. And considering the difference between like last year and this year, not as big of a sample size. Last year, an opponent's batting average of just 180. This year, 258, but that's still really nice in a sample size, about 2 times the size that Ortega had last year.
So Noah Hull will bat with 2 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Taking all the way, and it's just a little off the plate. Hull this season with a .269 average, 28 games. One-oh pitch. A high pop-up. Back behind the Jackfish dugout. It'll be out of play.
Pardon me, it wasn't opponent's batting average. Opponent's on-base percentage, 258. Even better when you consider the way that Ortega's been able to limit the walks, as you mentioned.
Definitely a guy you want to get runs off of early if possible.
And that's why that strikeout was so big. Leaving a man on third here would be huge for Welland.
Fouled off over near the on-deck circle. Last night we saw how the walks really plagued Baycat rookie starter Jonathan Warden. Barrie was fortunate to get out of the first inning, trailing only 1-0 after he walked the bases loaded and then walked in a run. Toronto didn't get their first hit of the game until Mara hit a 2-run homer to get Toronto on the board.
Just about to mention that. Yeah, it was definitely a rough start for Jonathan Warden. You can tell the inexperience really showing there, especially on a high mound that Christy Pitts has.
And now they've got the runner hung up, but here comes the other runner, and who are they going to go after here? It looks like Tristan Clark is going to get tagged out for the final out of the inning. So Clark with a nice job to try to distract him from getting Macabrota, but in the end, he's tagged out for the final out. So that'll do it for Barrie. They get on the board first. 1-0 Baycats through 1 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium.
Thinking about doing a renovation, but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Top of the second inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Baycats and Jackfish. Barrie on the board, 1-0 as the first inning ends on an interesting decision by the Baycats, with Nolan Macabrota getting in an intentional rundown between first and second as they tried to get Tristan Clark across home plate, but it just didn't work out as he ended up getting caught in a rundown as well.
It's a move that Macabrota has done before successfully this year. 2 out, runners on the corners, him on first. I believe the last time it happened, Brandon Hernandez was on third base, and that was against Kitchener, if I'm not mistaken. That play actually was successful. Macabrota was out to get the third out of the inning for the Panthers, but Hernandez already come in to score. So a purposeful move to try and get that extra run across before the inning ends.
I think the key to making that play work for the runner at third is just a dead sprint, an all-out sprint to home plate. And once Clark put the brakes on, they were able to throw down, and then he was the one in the rundown and an easy third out. Here's James Smybert to lead off the second. Frank Garces with an 0-2 count on him. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. Nice job by Smybert to get a piece and keep the at-bat alive.
Yeah, Smybert back in the IBL, was on the 2023 championship team, but was with in the Frontier League earlier this year. He's about to age out, he was telling me about. He's 29 years old, so he knew he was going to get more opportunity coming back to Welland, and it seems like a good idea.
Good patience as he works the count. 1-2 now. That 2023 championship Welland team winning the clinching game here in Barrie. Just 2 years ago. Lots of returning players from that squad. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it away. 1-2 the count. Home plate umpire James Lyles gives the baseball a look over, puts it in his satchel, and a fresh baseball for Frank Garces. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Pitch from Garces, fouled away. An abbreviated delivery there by Garces. Almost a quasi-quick pitch. Tried to catch Smybert on his heels, didn't work.
We've seen that from Garces a few times this year, but doesn't really bring out this early in a ball game. Usually tries to change up the momentum later on when hitters might think they have a little bit of a beat on them.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And another foul ball. Smybert waggles the bat. Garces, a long look in. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside, count 2-2.
Doing a really nice job of racking up the pitch count on Garces early on. Just still nobody out in the second.
And the count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the crowd behind Frank Garces again with a 3-2 count here. There's the pitch. Another foul ball. One at bat by James Smybert.
Smybert, 54 games in the Frontier League this year with Trois Rivières. 5 home runs, hit just .208, but even with that, an OPS of .614 with a low batting average like that.
3 balls, 2 strikes. James Anderson sets the target. Here's the payoff pitch, and it bounces up to home plate. Leadoff man aboard for the Jackfish. Here's Robert Mullen.
Don't see that much from Frank Garces. Not even just the pitch count rising and rising throughout that at bat, but spiking that pitch to walk the batter. Walks are a bit of a rarity here for Garces, and even just in that fashion, don't see it that often.
Robert Mullen hitting .274, former London Major. 34 games for the Jackfish here in 2025. Smybert leads at first. Nolan Macabrota holding him on. Here's the first pitch, and it's hit to left field. Clark reaches up, and he makes the catch. All the way back near the wall, one away. Boy, you see that power off the bat of Robert Mullen. It looked like just an effortless swing, and that ball just jumped off his bat like a rocket.
He hit it so hard. If he had that extra, couple degrees of launch angle, that definitely would have been out of the ballpark. Leads the league in home runs and RBI with 10. He hasn't hit a home run in a little bit, but still maintaining that pace.
Garces checks the runner. The winds are calm right now. They were blowing out slightly earlier today. Something we don't usually see here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Winds are usually blowing in from right field, but they were blowing out earlier, and from right to left. And this one to left field. Clark running in, reaches down, and it gets by him. Tried the shoestring catch, has to go back and retrieve it. They hold the runner at third, and standing up with a double is Grayson Barrett.
Yeah, Clark, he thought about making a diving attempt. We've seen some great diving catches from him this year, but kind of holds back. He tries to make the catch on the run, but he gets just enough of that ball. It doesn't get all the way past him to the fence. He manages to only have it straggle a few feet away from him, so holding the runner to third base.
Here's Brendan Luther, the shortstop. 2 on for the Jackfish now. Both in scoring position, 1 away. Let's see how carefully they pitch him with first base open. Brandon Hoope on deck. He's a tough out as well. Noah Hull with a step or two on the grass at third, just in case. And this one hits a left field again. Clark comes in. It drops in front of him. 1 run will score. The runners had to hold up. Not sure if Clark was going to catch that. He had to let it drop, though, and Welland ties the game 1-1.
Left fielder number 21.
Base runners almost got crossed up there because you saw Smiber hold up at third, but Grayson Barrett was right on his toes, already nearly at third base before that ball dropped.
Yeah, if Clark had caught that ball, he would have been doubled off easily, but he saw that it was going to drop, and he had the motor running. Smybert a little more cautious at third, but he comes in with the first run of the game for Welland, and we're tied at 1.
2 out. 2 out.
Here's Brendan Hoope, swing and a miss. Strike 1.
2 out. 2 out.
Barrett at third, Luther at first. Anderson sets up a little bit inside. Runner goes. Here's the throw down to second. It's on a bounce, and in with a head first slide is Brendan Luther.
Bit of an odd throw there from James Anderson. Almost took the head off Frank Garces. The first hop came in pretty close to that mound, in between the mound and second base.
Yeah, he didn't really elevate that throw as most catchers do.
Garces lucky to get out of the way of that. I'm not even sure if he noticed right away.
So the Jackfish with a chance to get on the board with 1 away. 1-1 to Hoope. Popped up, right side. It'll be the second baseman. Backpedaling on the outfield grass. Adam on will take it for the out. A big out for Frank Garces as the runners stay put.
That is a big out. You leave yourself only 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. 2 runners in scoring position. Again, it's kind of that toss-up. Both sides, they want to limit the damage early, keep this game as close as possible.
Really the ideal situation for the Baycats, getting a pop-up in a situation like that rather than a ground ball to the right side or a deep fly ball. Could potentially bring that runner in from third. And as nice as strikeouts are, they can run up the pitch count in a hurry. So a quick pop-up creating a 2-out situation. And we're back to the top of the order for Jonah Weisner. Weisner 0 for 1 in this game. One ball, no strikes. Garces delivers, fouled back to the screen. Weisner 1 for 5 in the 4-0 win over Hamilton. drove in a run as well. Get that average to 331. Each team with a run, each team with 3 hits. Jackfish looking for their first lead here in the second. Frank Garces with a 1-1 off speed, and it's fouled. Caught a piece of a mask, either the umpire or the catcher, couldn't tell.
Jonah Weiser is such a good hitter, and this is a situation that he's thrived in all year. 478 with 12 RBI with runners in scoring position this year.
Garces had a strikeout to end the first. Looks to repeat that here in the second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung and a miss, strike 3. A strikeout for IMP North. Garces gets out of it, having allowed just 1 run. Jackfish tied the game. We played an inning and a half here at Athletic Kulture Stadium on Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV YouTube.
For Welland in the second.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Prizes to give away here. Programming prize ticket numbers. You can get those ticket numbers out. That's your prize numbers. For inning number 1, the winning ticket number is 565-3288. 565-3288. For inning number 2, the winning ticket number 565-4212. 565-4212. For inning 3, the winning
It's a beautiful Thursday night here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. I'm Ben Davy. He's Julius Hern. Matty Gale, our sideline reporter, and it's a 1-1 tie between the Jackfish and the Baycats, bottom of the second inning. Country Night presented by Barrie Chrysler. And really good crowd on hand tonight for this battle between the top 2 teams in the IBL standings.
It's incredible. These teams both have 3 hits early on, but we're still only tied at 1. It's going to make for a great ball game down the stretch. We're only an inning and a half in.
I think we mentioned in our intro 2 one-run games between these clubs already this season. Swing and a miss by Hull. Noah Hull, Clayton Keys, and James Anderson due up for the Baycats here in the bottom of the second. Jackfish won 9-3 early in the season in Welland, as Hull rocks this to right center field, but the running catch is made by Mateo Porcelato. That sounded good off the bat. It's a long out.
Didn't sound like he quite got the right part of the bat, though. He got square up, but just a bit inside on the barrel there. That's why it hurt a little bit more than you might expect of it, but still a nice catch there from Porcelato.
So a 9-3 early season win for the Jackfish at Welland Stadium. The next 2 games were here. Welland won 4-3, and the Baycats won 8-7. So if you're thinking about a potential 7-game playoff series between these 2 teams, at the end of it all, regular season history would indicate some pretty close games maybe in store for us.
Well, that 8-7 loss as well, that was a walk-off here, and Noah Hull, we just saw him there. He had that pinch hit single to win it for the Baycats. A comeback victory. They got it off Davy Mendez, too, which is very impressive, a guy that's been lights out since his time started in the IBL.
You won't get too many walk-off wins over Mr. Mendez over the course of a season, that's for sure. That was a big one for the Baycats that night. 2 balls and a strike to Clayton Keys, the first-year Baycat. Swing and a miss. Keys will be a mainstay in right field here in these last few weeks, no doubt, with the departure of Willie Garcia. 2-2 pitch, called strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Teo Ortega.
This second inning of play is brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate, servicing Simcoe region for over a decade.
James Anderson, the catcher. Teo Ortega with 2 quick outs here in the second inning. Anderson takes the first pitch. It's a called strike.
Anderson's only had 1 start this year. I mean, I don't even know if you classify this one as a start, but the only one before was in Welland earlier this year.
Just his 7th game of the season. 7 at-bats. Not a guy that gets used a whole lot. He's a veteran, a good role player, can fit into the lineup in a number of different positions as needed. Pops this one up. Middle of the infield, and the catch is made by second baseman Jonah Weisner, and the Baycats quick and quiet here in the bottom of the second inning. It's 1-1 tie between Welland and Barrie through 2 on Baycats TV and Rogers TV at Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
We go to the third inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Jackfish and Baycats tied 1-1. Let's check in now with Maddie Gale, who has a report for us.
Catcher Justin Groves. I had a good chat with him pregame. Super nice guy, might I add. He just came from Hamilton. He was telling me how excited he is to be in Barrie. He's a local guy. He goes to college near here, so he's going to be here for all of playoffs. He said coming in, he knew a lot of the guys. He knew Noah Hall, Noel. He also knew Austin Boylan, so he said he's excited for the ride, and he's happy to be a Baycat.
The #1 architectural 3D rendering company.
Thank you, Maddie. Groves came into the game last night as a pinch hitter and scored a run in that Baycats 10-6 loss to Toronto last night, wearing the jersey of Lelise Beltran, number 14. We still don't have a jersey for him yet, but
yeah, still James Anderson out there right now, so he'll come into the game a little bit later on. That's expected.
Certainly happy to be here with this ball club for the final few weeks of the 2025 pennant drive and playoffs to follow.
Yeah, the only real new name the Baycats picked up at the transaction deadline coming out of Hamilton. He lives in Peterborough, still making that drive to and from games. But he goes to Humber College. He was the 2024 OCAA Player of the Year. Had a fantastic year, hit over 400, was only a home run shy of the Triple Crown. His teammate actually had the extra home run above him, so he's an impressive player. Struggled in his first 8 games in the IBL so far with Hamilton, but I think he just needs that extra experience to get him going.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Had a little flare over third and to left field for a base hit. Down the line. Could be extra bases. Morello rounding first into second. He'll hold up there with a stand-up double to lead off the third. The Baycats have been very busy this season adding pieces to the roster throughout the first half, but no real blockbuster move, as you mentioned, before the signing deadline, like other teams were, making really big moves to get their roster in place. The Guelph Royals bringing some big names aboard.
Guelph, Chatham-Kent had a couple. They brought in Gaku Ueda from Guelph, who was released earlier on. They brought in Victor Plaz, a former Baycat, coming back from Quebec to have another playoff run with the Barnstormers. And Welland Jackfish right here, we're going to see some of those additions tonight. Maybe Pedro De Los Santos down the line coming out of the bullpen.
Here comes Mateo Portulato. He is 0 for 1 tonight. Some interesting news coming out of Chatham-Kent late this afternoon. Manager Gil Rondon fired as manager in his first season. So you don't often see that. The ball club, especially a team having a pretty good season.
It's seemingly unexpected. Not really sure where that's coming from because their season was really resurgent. Last year, Dan Norman, who kind of got their feet wet in terms of being a franchise and being competitive in this league, lost in the first round to Guelph, but maybe that's to be expected with an expansion franchise, but really impressive this year, a scrappy ball club.
Yeah, 3 games over 500, and really it wasn't a case of them falling into a losing skid or anything like that. They were actually in second place for quite a bit of the season in the standings, and no real explanation given. A press release came out this afternoon, and it simply said no further comments will be offered at this time. Anytime you hear that, you tend to think that things just didn't end on good terms between the two sides.
Second manager firing we've had in the IBL this year.
Runner goes, and it's a little flare to second baseman. Adam Odd making the catch, throws to the shortstop. It's a double off the runner. Off with the pitch was Morello, and he had no chance to get back to second. So it's a 4-6 double play. That's not one you see very often.
Morello didn't even really believe it. He got to third base and wasn't sure where the ball was, looked back, and Odd was throwing it to Hernandez at second base. So really no shot for him to get back. Just tough luck with the hit and run on.
I guess Morello just thought that ball was going to drop. Wasn't hit nearly hard enough. Fairly easy catch for Adam Odd. Suddenly this third inning looks much different now with the bases empty and 2 away. So just to finish on the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, Harry Muir taking over managerial duties from the sounds of things, and we'll see when the search for a replacement happens, whether they try to get somebody in there before the playoffs or they just ride out the rest of the season and look for somebody in the winter. But
wouldn't be a bad idea to keep Harry Muir around. He's been with the team the entire year. He's very active on the field. He travels on the road quite often. He's kind of the main representative as the GM, and a guy with major league pitching coach style experience, a very established career as a coach throughout his time in baseball. So it's not a bad idea having that guy stick around and being the manager, the bench boss for the rest of the year.
1-2 pitch, popped up, right field, down the line, playable, and the catch is made by Clayton Keys right on the right field line, and that'll do it. As the Jackfish are retired in the top of the third inning. 1-1 tie between Welland and Barrie on Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV YouTube.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Third inning of play is brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
Towards the bottom of the third inning. Baycats will look to get back on top here. Right hitter, Adam Odd, lead it off.
Number 26, Adam Odd.
Adam Odd might be the hottest hitter on this Baycats team right now. An 8-game hit streak, had an RBI last night and RBI in each of his last 3 games. It's kind of weird to have that in a number 9 spot, but it's worked for him earlier on in the season and it might work down the stretch.
A fellow named Seth is our junior Baycats being announced here in this bottom of the third inning. Good to announce Noel McGarry Doyle on deck and then Brandon Hernandez to follow. Here's Ortega's pitch. Breaking ball for a called strike to Adam Odd.
Yeah,
No balls, 2 strikes.
Usually not bringing out that breaking ball unless he's ahead on those lefties. He's able to locate that fastball so well. Don't need to bring it out that often.
Now back to the screen. 0-2. Ortega has retired 4 in a row following the RBI single by Nolan Macabrota to get Barrie on the board first. Well, that lead was short-lived with Welland scoring in the top half of the second. Adam Odd having an outstanding year at the plate, 326. 11 games for the Baycats. Stays alive, fouling that off at home plate, bounced back up and hit him. Still in the box, so the count is 0-2. Adam Odd got married a couple of weeks ago and back with the club. Brian Rio, his teammate, getting married in a couple of weeks as well. So the wedding calendar has been busy for the Baycats here in 2025. Swing and a miss by Odd, strike 3.
Well, that kind of stuff, Odd getting married, Rio getting married, just kind of just shows that, these players are they're building their families around also being family alongside, their teammates. So building that community inside the ballpark, outside the ballpark, really important for this club.
Noel McGarry Doyle singled and scored to lead off the bottom of the first for Barrie.
McGarry Doyle now a 6-game hit streak after that first inning single.
Had a strong evening at the plate last night against Toronto, went 2 for 3, drove in a couple of runs as well.
Including tonight, going back his last now 6 games, 10 for 19.
That game last night at Christie Pitts, Baycats trailed 7-0 after 3, 9-0 after 5. Battled back to make the score respectable, and you got to be able to draw some positives out of that. A big 6-run 8th inning helped make it a little bit closer for the Baycats, but the bats were pretty quiet the rest of the night other than that 8th inning.
You can tell the frustrations really starting to set in on the team in that 9th inning after Ryan Dos Santos comes in to score, make it a 4-run game.
A high fastball, and McGarry Doyle lays off.
And the fact that it wasn't even a run that was earned late on that game, it was a throwing error that allowed that 10th run to score for Toronto, so that the game was really within reach for Barrie and kind of literally threw it away.
Inside, McGarry Doyle was able to keep that bat from offering at it. 2-2 the count. A lot of the Baycats hitters were very frustrated with the strike zone last night in Toronto as well. It was a very emotional night. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Just missed. Upstairs, maybe a little outside too. 3-2 the count now. Ortega delivers. Swing and a miss by McGarry Doyle. He'll run it out. Here's the throw to complete the strikeout. 2 away.
4 Ks now for Ortega, back-to-back to start this inning. You can tell he's really started to settle in after what was a rough first inning. He's retired each of his last 6 now.
Yeah, 3 of his last 4 outs have been strikeouts. That's 6 in a row that he's retired. Important for the Baycats to get somebody on base here, just break up this momentum. The last thing you want is a starting pitcher finding his groove and retiring a streak of hitters in a row. Hernandez will try to keep this 3rd inning going here. Tristan Clark on deck. 2 out in the inning. Now time is called as Ortega had started his rock into his windup, but Hernandez wanted time and he got it.
Yeah, it's got a couple stretches out there trying to disrupt that rhythm of Ortega. As you mentioned, retired the last 6, so he's on a bit of a rhythm.
It's amazing how often umpires will give hitters at the plate that late call, that late request for time. More often than not, they'll get it. 1-1 the count.
You gotta wonder where that comes from too, whether they're looking at the batter or maybe not looking at the pitcher directly in that moment.
Hits this one a long way to right field, and it'll be extra bases. Rounding first is Hernandez. Up with the throw. Comes in from Porcelado. That's a double. Brandon Hernandez keeps this 3rd inning alive.
Left fielder, number 6.
2 out hitting for the Baycats in this last couple weeks has been really impressive. Hernandez adding on to that with an extra base hit there. So a guy like Tristan Clark coming up after them, moving up to that number 3 spot in the order lately. It's a really nice opportunity for a guy who's been able to drive in runs consistently this season.
And more importantly, another batter for our Rock 95 Junior Baycats announcer to belt out, Tristan Clark. He gets the 4th batter to announce. Seth doing a nice job on the microphone here in this 3rd inning. We wouldn't want to see him just only get to announce 3 players.
It's funny, and Ryan Rios mentioned this to me earlier, how it seems like the Baycats always have gone 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's not a trend they want to continue.
Ortega's first pitch misses away. Clark singled in his previous plate appearance, got as far as 3rd, and then was caught in a rundown between 3rd and home to end the 1st. Fouled back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Crazy movement on what looked like it could have been a changeup there from Ortega, similar to what I was mentioning on that 1st inning. Early lateral movement key on that pitch, and it looked like it was almost fooled Clark to the point where he had to foul that one off.
He's had these Baycats hitters guessing at the plate early in this ball game. Here's the pitch. And a good take there by Tristan Clark. Count 2-1.
Tristan Clark now on a 22-game on-base streak. It was 0 for 0 last night, late in the game, coming as a pinch hitter, hit by a pitch and walked.
Here's the pitch from Ortega, and it's low and outside. Scooped by Mullen.
And that breaking ball just got away from him again. Clark very patient. On base percentage of .378 coming into tonight.
Baycats looking to get back on top here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Runner at 2nd. That's Brandon Hernandez dancing around. Here's Ortega's pitch. That's a called strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Nolan Macabrota is on deck. Ortega takes a look at Hernandez. Now comes to the plate. And it's fouled off over the trees, right field side. Count will hold at 3-2.
Gotta wonder how much stress that Hernandez is causing Ortega right behind him at second base. Not even necessarily with the dancing lead, but with a lot of pitchers, you feel like there's someone right over your shoulder when there's behind you at second base.
Brendan Luther right in his shadow. Now shifts back to the right. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Teo Ortega and the Jackfish get off the field. A runner stranded at second. And we remain tied at 1 through 2.5. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation, but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
At that for Welland.
Top of the 4th inning.
Baseman number 5, James.
Welland Jackfish and the Barrie Baycats tied 1-1. James Smybert is due up, along with Robert Mullen and Grayson Barrett. Frank Garces allowed just 1 run on 4 hits so far for the Baycats tonight. The left-hander deals, and he misses low and away. Baycats and Jackfish will do it again Saturday night, 6:05 at Welland Stadium. Alec Murray and company will have that call for us on the Jackfish TV YouTube page. Smybert was able to check his swing, so the count is now 2-0. Called strike.
Smybert's last game was here. And in fact, his last 6 games before this in the IBL were all against Barrie in the IBL Championship 2023.
That's a called strike. That's got to be an oddity when you return and then your first game is in the same park that you played your last game before you were gone.
Nearly 2 years removed, too, so.
That's interesting. 2-2. Pitch is low.
Well, he was 1 for 5 with an RBI and a couple runs scored in that blowout clinching win that the Jackfish had in Game 6 of that series.
How about pitcher Seranthony Dominguez, right? He was in a doubleheader, and he worked each half for both teams. 1 half with Baltimore, 1 half with Toronto. Traded mid-doubleheader. Smybert draws a walk.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was thinking, that's an oddity you probably never really see. A pitcher getting traded to the mid-doubleheader.
And actually pitching in both of them.
Yeah.
I think what may have been even weirder than that would have been the next day, because he would have gone home in Baltimore, woke up, drove to the ballpark, and went to the visitors' clubhouse instead of his home clubhouse.
Exactly.
I mean, join your new team.
Saw the Orioles bullpen, heckling him as he was headed to the Blue Jays bullpen, in the middle of the game too.
And then after the game, you don't get to go home. You got to fly with your new team and leave your home city, right? I'm sure it'll take a while before he gets moved out of his place. Here's Robert Mullen. Smybert at first. Nobody out. 4th inning.
It's kind of that harsh reality of professional sports, right? You can kind of never really know where you're going to be on, in a week's time, right?
Probably happy to get off the Orioles this year. Runner goes. Ball hit to second. 1 play. That's to first. In time for the out. So Mullen retired 4-3. Smybert to second. 1 away.
Just kind of that unlucky ground ball to Adam Odd there. Not really much he could do on route to second base. Smybert was nearly already at second base when Odd came up with that double play kind of taken out there.
Yeah, Sir Anthony Dominguez has got to be feeling like that's an upgrade for him, going from the Orioles to the Blue Jays this year at least. I don't know if you've been following a lot of the player movement prior to the trade deadline in Major League Baseball, but there's been some pretty interesting acquisitions. The one that really caught my attention was Mason Miller going from the A's to the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
So, you're leaving a team that's near the bottom of the league, playing in a minor league ballpark, and all of a sudden you're in San Diego, right in the middle of a pennant race.
And what I thought of when I saw that was, it was last year or the year before, Mason Miller was kind of having this surging season, right? Kind of making his name known, and the A's were kind of strict on holding on to him, thinking that he was going to be part of their future. But this year it seems like they've kind of flipped the script.
I think they'll regret it 2 or 3 years from now, because I think the A's are definitely trending up when you look at that team. They're not as bad as they were. A lot of young talent.
Lawrence Butler, Denzel Clark, a Canadian, played with some of the guys on the field that we're watching tonight on the junior national team. They got some good names there. Brent Rooker, obviously, has been a power bat in that lineup.
No balls, 2 strikes to Grayson Barrett. 1 out here in the 4th. Frank Garces looks over his shoulder and deals. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Strikeout for IMP North. 2 down here in the 4th inning. This broadcast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League of the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use in any form without express written consent is strictly prohibited. 2 down for Brendan Luther, the number 8 hitter.
Luther's responsible for that first run being driven in for Welland. That little looper into left field. Similar hit would obviously score another.
2 teams that can put up an awful lot of runs, but this is shaping up to be a pitcher's duel tonight between Teo Ortega and Frank Garces, 2 of the best in the league.
You got to imagine how the result of tonight affects Saturday's game, whether it's a win or loss for either side or pitcher's duel or not.
Well, if you're Barrie, you really got to be thinking you want to win both of these games. You're down by 3 in the standings. If you're going to make a run at this team for the pennant chase, you want to get that down to a game. We're getting down to the final stretch here. Last thing you want to do is fall back 4 or 5. No balls, 2 strikes. Garces is ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Another inning-ending strikeout for Frank Garces, and he gets Barrett and Luther back-to-back to end the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the inning. Barrie and Welland tied at 1. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
No hits, no errors.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Fourth inning of play is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
1-1 tie between the Jackfish and the Baycats at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Ben Davy, Julius Hern, Matty Gale with you. Nolan Macabrota will bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Baycats' lone run came in the first inning. An RBI single by this man. Got Barrie on the board early. It was a short-lived lead, however. Teo Ortega has been brilliant early in this game. Kicks and delivers. First pitch, a chopper to second. Nice backhanded grab. The throw in time from Jonah Weisner. One away.
What a throw by Weisner. He made that throw. We'll make it a little bit more awkward than maybe it should have been, but that was his only chance to get Macabrota kind of a little soft hit ball, not a lot of spin on it as it got over towards that second base side.
Here comes Francisco Hernandez. First pitch strike. We mentioned that there's 3 weekends of baseball left here in the regular season, including this weekend, but only 8 games left for both of these teams. That last week of the schedule is a little bit lighter than usual. Allows some time for makeup games, but none needed in Barrie's case. 34 games for Welland and Barrie, so just 8 remaining. And the deficit currently 3, and let's not forget the London Majors. They're 3 back of Welland as well. Count 2-1.
So let's assume Welland, which is very possible, takes both of these games in the home and home. After that, their magic number to clinch the pennant would only be 2.
2-1 pitch, finds the plate. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the Jackfish have been in first place pretty much all season long. They've had a comfortable lead for the most part, and really been dominating. When you look at run differential, 136. That's almost 100 runs more than the next team, which was Barrie at 43.
Yeah, a lot of teams with negative run differentials, even this late in the season, wouldn't expect it.
Third baseman number 28, Noah Hull.
There's only 3 teams with a positive run differential higher than 10. That's these 2 teams here. Hamilton Cardinals have a run differential of 22. Everybody else's run differential is plus 10 or lower.
And even then, the Hamilton Cardinals, their run differentials only climbed above 0 in the last couple weeks or so.
And they've lost 2 in a row, and if the season were to end today, would finish 5th. So they wouldn't even finish in the top half of the standings in the playoff matchups.
Those top 5, the only ones that have actually clinched playoff spots as of right now.
Swing and a miss by Hull on the fastball. So how about the London Majors? They're 8 games over 500, but a run differential of plus 2. That almost sounds hard to do. Tells you they've won a lot of low-scoring games. Or close games, I should say. Not necessarily low-scoring, but they've won their close games, and that's a good sign.
And that kudos to Skylar Janice, who's led the IBL in saves all year long.
One and 2, Ortega looking for another quick inning. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Baycats go 3 up, 3 down for the second time tonight. We've played 4. Julius on the mic for innings 5 and 6. When we return, it's a 1-1 tie here at Athletic Kulture Stadium.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer! Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Welcome back to Country Night at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Still a 1-1 tie between the Baycats and the Welland Jackfish. 4 hits for each team as we begin the top of the 5th inning. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Jackfish order, starting off with Brandon Hupe facing off against Frank Garces.
Julius, I've been dying to ask you all night, your favorite country music artist of all time. Who is it?
Oh, that's tough.
Past or present?
Past or present. That's really tough. Probably Zach Brown Band.
Great choice.
I've seen him twice, including once earlier this year. Maybe the best show I've been to before, and it was my first country music show a couple years ago. So.
Okay, all right. That's a great choice.
Garces' first pitch just outside to Hupe. Ben, what about you? I'm not sure even you're much of a country guy yourself.
Not really. My country playlist is a little farther down other music genres as far as my own music tastes, but I can appreciate a good country song. And I would say I'll go with 2 names here. All-time Kenny Rogers. In my mind, he's the GOAT. As far as current country music artists, Luke Combs. I would love to go to a Luke Combs concert.
Absolutely.
He's got great energy and an incredible voice.
That one just misses. It's 2-1. When Luke Combs' first album came out, I was blown away by the songwriting.
Yeah, it's all about a great lyric, isn't it? With country music, I mean, that's what does it for me. And that's why I love Kenny Rogers' songs so much. They all tell great stories.
Abbreviated delivery there from Garces, and he gets a swing and miss out of Hupe. It's 2-2. Not a ton of cowboy hats, though, around the park.
Gotta love yours. I mean, yeah, your getup is probably the best here, to be honest with you.
I didn't expect that, to be honest.
Well,
Garces steps off.
Well, there's a lot of country music fans here in Barrie. The Boots and Hearts Music Festival is just north of us every year. That's always well attended.
Next weekend. 2-2, foul off on the right side towards the Barrie bullpen. I'll be at Boots and Hearts periodically next weekend. First time for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that you'll find your way up there one way or another.
2-2, Garces looks for the sign. The pitch to Hupe. Called strike 3. Hupe goes down looking. It's brought to you by IMP North. That's the first out of the 5th.
And Frank Garces is dialed in. 3 straight strikeouts. Barrett, Luther, and now Hupe. Jonah Weisner comes to the plate with 1 out here on the 5th.
Garces 1 strikeout from 100 on the season. Jonah Weisner was a strikeout victim in the 2nd. He's 0 for 2. Surprising for a guy that's been able to hit for average as well as he is. Noah Hall playing in at third base. Could see a bunt, and he shows it. Gets it down the first base line. What a bunt. Garces rushing the flip is off of Weisner's back, and he can't make the play. And the runner's called out. Looks like an obstruction call there from home plate umpire James Lyle, and Jonah Weisner can't believe it.
Well, if he was in the line, the path of the throw between Garces and the first baseman, well, that's the issue there. And here's manager Brian Essery to say, hey, he's entitled to the baseline. Where else is he going to go?
From our vantage point, didn't look like he veered out of the baseline at all. It looked like he had a straight shot towards first base. Garces, obviously a tough time fielding that because it was in that dirt path between the line and the infield turf. Garces did all he could to try and flip it over to Macabroda to make the play.
Well, a tough situation there for Weisner as a base runner. He has no way of having any knowledge of where or when the throw is going to be arriving. No chance for him to get out of the way. That's what Brian Essery is saying. What was he supposed to do in that situation?
Not really sure I like that call, and Essery still with more words here for Lyle as they get back towards home plate on the way to the dugout.
Well, James Lyles with the emphatic call, and in a low-scoring game like this, every little call matters so much, and it really changes the complexion of this inning now. Nobody on, 2 out.
Tough luck call, but it goes in favor of the Baycats. I'll bring up Gio Morello.
Well, let's not lose sight of the incredible effort by Frank Garces to get to that ball and even make an attempt on it. A lot of pitchers would have just given up on that. That was a long way from the pitcher's mound.
It was a very nice bunt, too. You don't expect a drag bunt that well down the first base line, but he got it. Playing in, Noah Hall makes a clean play to throw into first. Gets away from Macabroda all the way past an outstretched arm. And here comes Morello rounding second on his way to third. The throw from Keys bounces into the infield. It looks like that's going to be an E5 all the way around. So Morello reaching third on what was a throwing error from Noah Hall.
Yeah, it didn't look necessarily like a terrible throw. Macabroda's got that long right arm. So often he's able to snag those ones. Just a little bit out of his reach, though, wasn't able to come up with it. And that'll be the first Baycat error of the ball game.
Doesn't go as a hit, scored an error. And they'll give the Jackfish some extra life here in the 5th inning. Mateo Porcelato due up.
Took them a long time to get that ball back in as well, so Morello all the way to third base.
Yeah, Clayton Keys had a long way to go to back up Macabroda, who didn't move off of first base. He was still outstretched as Morello was rounding the bag. And Noah Hall played that ground ball perfectly, just couldn't execute the throw down to first to end the inning.
Well, he was in tight, and you see him again. He's just right on the lip of the grass.
First pitch to Porcelato misses.
Trying to take away any opportunity on the infield here.
Garces moving quickly. He gets an early swing from Porcelato, 1-1. Long look in now from Garces. From the stretch. Swing and a miss. Got him with the fastball there. It's 1-2.
Hall went darting in behind Morello. Looked like he was trying to get himself in position for a quick throw down from James Anderson if he wanted to try to make an attempt to nab Gio. And now Hall can play back on the dirt with 2 strikes.
All-star against all-star. Here's the 1-2. Just swing and a miss. It gets away from Anderson. The run comes in to score. So Porcelato doesn't get a piece of it. Clean swing and miss. He reaches on the strikeout. And the Jackfish take the lead.
Designated hitter number 1, Thomas Green.
Not sure that's how Garces wanted to get his 100th strikeout, but that does seem to be the case. Jackfish take the lead. It's 2-1.
Yeah, and that's a strange play. We don't see that a whole lot, especially resulting in a run scored. But Morello, give him full marks. He was like a cat down that third base line, scampering in to score easily, and Welland gets their first lead of the game.
Morello is such a good base runner, caught on easily. Now Porcelato, a great base runner himself on first, is a big wave and miss there from from Thomas Green.
Well, congratulations to Frank Garces on his 100th strikeout, a career best and a team high.
5 away from tying his teammate, Cesar Rosado, from the franchise single-season lead. Another big swing and miss from Green.
As you mentioned, not how he wanted to get it, though. I'm sure if you talk to him, he'd much rather have the lead than the record. Frank, not a guy that thinks about personal stats really at all if you talk to him. It's all about winning, and he is a gamer.
It goes down as an unearned run, but he's a pitch away potentially from getting out of this inning. Here's the 0-2 to Green. Runner goes. Foul back to the screen. Porcelato would have had that bag clean. Thomas Green having to protect the plate early on. Yet to reach tonight, but he's been on base each of his first 4 IBL games coming into today since he was signed by the Jackfish. Fans getting behind Garces. There's the 0-2. It's poked up the middle. It's a base hit for Thomas Green. Porcelato holds up at second base, and the inning continues for Welland, now 2 on with 2 out.
Well, the Jackfish have a knack for this and scoring in unexpected ways. They've been doing it all season long, and an inning, what could have been an inning-ending strikeout, produces a run. Thomas Green follows that up with a 2-out single, and it looks like the Jackfish may not be done yet here in this 5th inning.
This is James Smybert, the third baseman. Most stress that Garces has been put under so far in this ball game.
To be a first-place team and to be a championship team, ultimately, you have to be able to score when those opportunities come your way in unexpected fashion. And the Jackfish seem to be able to do that so well.
Smybert, the 29-year-old, back in the IBL. First game back since signing with Welland out of the American Association. Curveball just misses at Garces.
2 walks tonight. Love to put the ball in play here and try to add to this 2-1 Jackfish lead.
Well, that's how much of an experienced hitter he is. He's coming into this game obviously eager to bring back that success he had with Welland a couple of years ago, but not rushing to it. Obviously, those first 2 walks, as you mentioned, and even taking first couple pitches outside in this at-bat.
2 plate appearances, no at-bats.
2-0 from Garces. That one misses low. So 3-0 now on Green.
Great patience here. You don't often get a 3-0 count on Frank Garces. He knows he'll see something good to hit here if he wants it.
Thomas Green at first, Mateo Porcelato at second.
Adam Odd shifted way around to the right side here. Big hole between him and second base.
3-0 from Garces. That one finds the plate. Walks are so uncharacteristic for Garces, and both of them tonight to James Smybert.
Now the last thing he wants to do is walk the bases loaded in this situation with 2 outs. Again, a good pitch probably coming up here to Smybert.
Breaking ball finds his zone again, full count.
So a 3-0 count. He takes 2 more. 5 straight takes by Smybert. Pretty incredible. You don't want to be caught with a bat on your shoulder here. Now he's got to be swinging.
Got to protect the plate any way you can. The 3-2, he cuts on and misses. Frank Garces, an inning-ending strikeout. 3 in the inning, although he doesn't get all 3 outs by way of the strikeout. Welland takes a 2-1 lead. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning on Baycats TV.
friends from Fort Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Bottom of the fifth inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. It's brought to you by One-Eyed Jack Barrie. Bring your same-day Baycats tickets before or after the game and get 10% off your bill.
Julius, Hern, Ben, Davy, Matty Gale, our entire Baycats TV crew with you. Bottom third of the order for the Baycats to come up here against Teodoro Ortega. Only allowed 4 hits and a run so far in his first 4 innings. Retired each of his last 4, 3 of them by way of a strikeout.
This is shaping up to be just an incredible ball game between two solid teams.
Well, we saw it last time these two teams faced off here, a walk-off win in favor of the Baycats on a Saturday afternoon. We know, based on that, if these teams can keep it close, we're in for a great finish. 1-0 to Clayton Keys. Takes it for a strike.
Almost a shame they only play each other 5 times.
Just seems to be the way the schedule kind of crumbles out. Teams the further travel don't necessarily play each other 6 times. Keys fouls it straight back.
Yeah, depending on the matchup, you play each team either 5 or 6 times, but these Welland Barrie games have been very exciting.
Keys hasn't had a hit in his last 2 games, but he's walked 5 times in that span. He's been on base very often for this Barrie team, but he strikes out looking here. Second time he's gone down looking at as many at-bats.
Well, Keys was one of several Baycats who were very frustrated about last night's strike zone at Christie Pitts in Toronto, and not the start to the game he wanted here tonight at home. 2 strikeouts and 2 at-bats.
Struck out in each of his last 7 games as Keys. This will bring up James Anderson. Takes the first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Anderson yet to have a hit yet this year. And now he's down 0-2.
Always a tough situation when you're not a regular in the lineup and then you're called upon at the last minute to jump in and all of a sudden you're in the game. That was the case for Anderson here tonight.
0-2 pitch from Ortega just outside. In fact, Anderson hasn't even been on base since that May 17th game in Welland where he started. A couple walks this year, came in as a pinch runner in the home opener and scored a run, but that's about it. 1-2, he checks his swing and doesn't hold up. Back-to-back Ks to start the inning for Ortega. He's retired each of the last 4 by a strikeout.
Yeah, 4 straight strikeouts, like you mentioned. He's retired 6 in a row. The double by Brandon Hernandez is the only interruption to that streak of outs for Ortega, going all the way back to the bottom of the first inning.
9 strikeouts now on the outing for Ortega. Ground ball there from Adam Ahn, sliding over Barrett. He misses it. The throw over to Ortega, covering first from Weisner, is in time. Great defense there. The rotation from the Jackfish, Weisner and Ortega, making it happen to end the inning. Baycats go 3 up, 3 down again. We head to the 6th inning, 2-1 Welland on Baycats TV.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Top of the 6th inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Still a close one. Welland up 2-1 over the Baycats. Just over halfway through the ball game. Frank Garces nearly got out of the inning via strikeout in the 5th, but it got away from James Anderson. A run scored, and we stand in a 1-run game. Robert Mullen to lead it off for the Jackfish. RBI leader in the IBL, tied in a home run lead with Eduardo De Olio of London. First pitch just outside.
Frank has pitched well tonight, but he's had base runners to deal with all 5 innings. And if there was ever a time for a clean 3-up, 3-down inning, this would be it for him here on the 6th.
Rocket out to left field off the bat of Mullen. It's down and all the way to the wall. Clark picks it up on the warning track. Mullen hustling to try to get to second. Here's the relay, the throw. Gets away from on. Does he get the tag? No, he doesn't. Robert Mullen slides around the tag from Adam on and gets himself a hustle double on a ball that you expect might be a little bit of an easier extra base hit.
Yeah, and in addition to beating the tag, the question was, would Mullen be able to stay on the bag? And he did. Well, it could have been a very close play there at second base. Second ball tonight that Mullen has hit really hard to left field.
Perfectly executed relay on the part of Tristan Clark, getting it to Brandon Hernandez, but the throw to second, as shallow as it was wide of the bag. Adam on had to come off the bag to get it, and he did come up with it, but took him out of position to make a clean tag on Mullen, and it keeps him on base. A leadoff double it'll go down as ahead. Here's Grayson Barrett. Ahead of that breaking ball for strike one.
So 6 straight innings now that the Jackfish have had base runners. They've been able to convert on 2 of those.
Garces looks back at Mullen. Here's the 0-1 to Barrett. It gets away after a swing. Anderson going back to the backstop to make it. Looks like probably a pass ball on the part of Anderson. Mullen moves up to third. We know Anderson wasn't meant to be the starting catcher, but struggling more than maybe we expected. We know Justin Groves will probably get a chance to make his impact behind the plate sometime in this game, but this is key now for Garces. Infield in, 0-2, nobody out. Mullen, the runner at third base. Pitch from Garces. Does it clip the batter? No signal yet from James Lyle, the home plate umpire. Grayson Barrett seemingly winced out of the batter's box as if it hit him, but I guess it went off the bat. Looks like a 1-2 count. Garces. This pitch is fouled away.
The Porchelato strikeout that got by Anderson in the 5th inning has been the margin of difference. This 2-1 score, which is holding up as we speak.
Garces comes set ahead of a 1-2 to Grayson Barrett. Caught on and missed. Another one off the glove of Anderson. He's got to hurry. Throw down to first is in time. Mullen has to hold up at third with Garces covering the plate.
Yeah, super important that Anderson kept that ball close enough to avoid any sort of catastrophe in that situation. One base runner aboard already tonight with a strikeout, and it proved costly, as mentioned, in that 5th inning. Jackfish have done a great job getting runners on tonight. Just getting them in has been a bit of a problem. Garces has been able to keep the damage minimal. Starting to get the sense, though, that it may just be a matter of time before Welland is able to put a crooked number up there.
Only one of those runs earned, and that was a RBI single by this man, Brendan Luther. Infield still in for Barrie with 1 out. First pitch, fouled into the glove.
And when you got a drawn-in infield with a good hitting team like the Jackfish, it creates another challenging situation. You know that they can just slap the ball over your head and get a base hit, get that runner in from third base. But low scoring, close game here, and this infield can't take any chances.
0-1 to Luther. It's picked by Anderson, the ball in the dirt. Luther, the number 8 hitter, Brandon Hupe on deck. Hayes really starting to settle in on this ballpark tonight. Clear view of the moon out, a view towards center field.
Yeah, we may start to see some outfield low-lying fog here before this game is over.
And the hoodies have started to come out around the park, especially in the dugouts as well. Time called by Luther. Brian Essery asked me before the game, are we going to have a hoodie game tonight? And I said, probably later on. That's exactly what we've had so far to start this 6th inning. Temperatures are really cooled down, only at 18 degrees now. Here's the 1-1. Blocked again by Anderson, keeps it in front. Forces Mullen back. Garces, you can tell, it really starting to take his time in these middle innings. Setting the pace himself. From the stretch, a 2-1. Just missed. Count 3-1 on Brendan Luther.
Now, for Garces to have that confidence in his catcher, James Anderson, so important here for Frank to know that he can put that slider in the dirt, hoping that Luther will chase and not have to worry about it getting past his catcher.
Garces comes set, infield still in. Here's the 3-1, cut on and missed. Count full. Luther, the 25-year-old from Mississauga. Awaits a 3-2 pitch from Garces. Here it is. On the ground, right back to the pitcher. Garces looks Mullen back. The throw to first is in time. Holds Mullen at third base. What a play from Garces. The wherewithal to look the runner back and make a spinning play.
Garces has been busy defensively coming off the mound tonight, and that one he had to be on his toes. Didn't panic, made the play to first, and making sure that Mullen stayed at third. That's an important base runner right now. 2 out in the inning.
It's number 9 hitter Brandon Hupe, 0 for 2 so far tonight. But an RBI opportunity looming. Infield back at the regular depth now with 2 out. First pitch from Garces on the outside corner. 0-1. That one's in the dirt. Another pick there from James Anderson.
Garces has had to deal with a lot of base runners tonight with 1 out or less in the inning, and he's been very successful at getting that second out, which is so important, especially when you got a runner at third, as is the case right now.
1-1 from Garces, fouled away by Hupe.
And now a strikeout can end the inning, and boy, does Frank need that here.
Brandon Hupe, big bat in the number 9 spot for Welland. Barrie fans getting back into this ball game. 1-2 from Garces. On the ground to second. It's Adam Odd. Scooping it up. The throw on to first is in time to get Garces out of the frame. Another scoreless inning, but the Jackfish still up 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching Baycats TV.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
Sixth inning brought to you by Moving.ca. 2 small men with big hearts moving. Your original Canadian 2-men movers. When you think 2 men, think with big hearts. Your Canadian choice.
Noel McGarry-Doyle to lead it off for Barrie against Teodoro Ortega, who has been cruising in this ballgame so far. Julius Hern, Ben Davy, Matty Gale along with you. Top of the order was what really had the most success for Barrie last night in Toronto, and there's a rip down the right field line, but foul towards the bullpen off the bat of McGarry-Doyle. 5 for 11 were the Baycats' first 3 hitters in the order last night against the Toronto Maple Leafs on the road.
So that was Ortega's 65th pitch of the night. 47 of them have been strikes. Precision accuracy from Ortega.
Just misses inside there. It's 1-1. He has been cruising through this ball game, to say the least. Only 4 hits allowed, 1 run, and that was all the way back in the first. McGarry-Doyle reaching and scoring first batter of the game. 1-1 outside.
Conversely, Frank Garces has thrown 103 pitches tonight. So about a 40-pitch gap. Mind you, the Baycats are batting here in their bottom half of the inning. So, but still quite a difference there between Garces and Ortega in terms of pitch efficiency here tonight.
2-1 from Ortega to McGarry-Doyle. He fouls it straight back. And I haven't seen anybody warming up in the Barrie bullpen, so questionable whether Garces will go out for the 7th on 103 pitches.
If you're wondering who's available, last night the Baycats used Warden, Kahn, Roach, Nagorski, and Enriquez. So 5 pitchers last night were used in that 10-6 ball game.
2-2 to McGarry Doyle, fouled away.
Braden Pakala is here and available. Saw him in uniform just a few moments ago. Brad Grieveson is back. That comes at a good time.
Grieveson hasn't pitched in a while. As you mentioned earlier, is very busy coaching his kids. And went down to the States for a couple tournaments in that span. So glad to see him back at the park. Here's a 2-2 again. Got on and missed. That's strikeout number 10 for Ortega.
Kind of feels like the Baycats want to sort of go with a lefty-righty tandem in the setup role in the bullpen. Adam Kahn and Braden Pakala. And then getting the ball to Carlos Sano to close it in the ninth. Sano can also work more than one inning if needed, but Kahn worked 2 1/3 last night. Really struggled, allowing 3 earned runs. Walked a couple as well.
Big wave and a miss from Brandon Hernandez there. Tonight would be the night to use Carlos Sano in a multi-inning appearance, hypothetically, because you have the off day tomorrow if you're Barrie, and then you have 2 straight games on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, both on the road, Welland and Kitchener. 0-1. Inside, another swing and miss from Hernandez.
Well, the way Sano has pitched this season, he has been nothing short of outstanding. The ERA 1.11 through his 16 appearances. That's incredible.
5-1, and that one was even an unearned run, an extra innings lost to Toronto a week ago. Here's the 0-2, fouled away by Hernandez.
Yeah, he's the so-called closer, and he's leading the pitching staff in wins. Just the way it goes sometimes.
6 saves.
All but one of his appearances have been in relief. The one start he had, I think, was just kind of in an opener position. He didn't go very deep, but
it was against Welland Jackfish in Welland, second game of the season. On the ground off the bat of Hernandez. Here comes Luther to make the play on the run. He makes it for the second out.
So when was the last team that finished with a pitcher that led the team in both wins and saves? It could happen this year for the Baycats with Carlos Sano.
That's going to be something I do a deep dive on later tonight.
That'll keep you busy.
Oh, boy.
Brew a pot of coffee for that one, Julius. The stats you come up with, though, really impress me. But certainly it hasn't happened in my memory where you had the same pitcher lead in wins and saves.
On the ground again, this one off the bat of Tristan Clark. Weisner. The throw to Barrett is in time. Another 3 up, 3 down inning. That's 3 consecutive for Teodoro Ortega. 10 strikeouts now through 6, and a 2-1 lead for the Jackfish going into the 7th. Ben Davy back on the mic to call the rest of this one for you on Baycats TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Thursday night here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, and one a ball game between the Welland Jackfish and the Barrie Baycats. An absolute nail-biter through two-thirds of this game. A 2-1 Welland lead as we head to the top of the 7th inning, and Frank Garces is back out for another inning of work.
Kind of crazy to think that the run that is the difference in this game right now came in on a strikeout.
And Frank Garces' 100th strikeout of the season, which unfortunately resulted in a run scored and a base runner, as they couldn't make the throw to first in time to complete the strikeout. So,
well, he's at 102 right now, and strikeouts, that is, that being his 104th pitch of the game. So surprisingly, he's still out there. And
to second, long way for Odd as he dives and it gets by him. Leadoff man aboard for the Jackfish here in the 7th inning.
And there is the beginnings of some action in the Baycats bullpen now as we enter the 7th inning.
The center fielder, number 11, Gio Morello.
Garces at 105 pitches. That's Braden Packala, lefty throwing. At least starting to move around. Interesting to go lefty back-to-back, but it has worked for the Baycats earlier this year, Garces then to Packala.
First pitch strike. Gio Morello with a deep crouch. Batting stance. Taking all the way. Hernandez and Odd, the middle infield, shifted around slightly to the right. Runner goes. Pitch is low. Anderson the throw. Another low throw. Tag is applied, but in with the stolen base is Jonah Weisner.
Jonah Weisner got that stolen base so easily. He barely had a lead off of first base on that pitch, and just I think they're obviously Jackfish taking advantage of James Anderson behind the plate, a guy that hasn't caught in a couple of years in the IBL. Even on that throw, you see Garces having to get away of another one.
Second very low throw from Anderson. One pitch on the way from Garces. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Noah Hall now having to balance playing in on the infield, but also being able to cover the bag on a ground ball or a stolen base attempt.
Taking all the way, and it's down low. Count 2-2. Morello has been all over the bases tonight. Singled, doubled, reached on an error, and scored. Typical night at the plate for Gio. On deck is Mateo Porcelato. He's 0 for 4. Big pitch coming up here for Frank Garces. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the 7th. Pitch to Morello. And a little flare over third and a left field for a base hit. Up with it, Clark, and they hold the runner. Weisner to third, 2-1. Nobody out. Here comes Mateo Porcelato.
A smart move to hold Weisner there. He hadn't even got to third by the time Tristan Clark came up with the ball. But again, it's another seeing eye single. A lot of these lefties in this lineup, you wouldn't think that they would have the favorable splits against a strong lefty like Garces on the mound, but they've been able to go the other way quite often, and it's been paying off.
Porcelato, as mentioned, 0 for 3. His 4th plate appearance. Runner goes. Called strike, no throw.
That's smart from Anderson. He hasn't had the success throwing out base runners tonight. The speedy Jackfish team, best to not risk another run coming in to score against your starter.
Now you know that Weisner would have been off as soon as Anderson unloaded that throw, so a wise play. Defensive indifference. 2 in scoring position, however. Here's the pitch from Garces. Low, but Anderson keeps it in front of him. 2 on, nobody out, and Situation here with first base open. Could pitch Porcelato carefully here if you wanted to, but he's 0 for 3 tonight.
See the infield in now, second straight inning in this situation.
Called strike. Nobody out in the inning. I guess this is a good time to congratulate you on an accomplishment on Saturday that you got a career first, something that has never even happened in all my years of play-by-play. You got to call a triple play here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, and you did a fine job on it as well.
I appreciate it. It was so out of the blue. It caught me off guard in the moment.
It was unfortunate that it was a Chatham-Kent Barnstormer triple play, but swing and a miss, strike 3 for IMP North. Big strikeout for Frank Garces. I'm sure that was a career highlight for you, no doubt.
It was pretty cool. I mean, again, like I said, I didn't expect it. Pretty cool that it was the first in Barnstormers history.
Well, that's the one thing in baseball that, as an announcer, you cannot anticipate that, a triple play. You know, you can have a sense with the bases loaded, maybe a grand slam or other big moments like that, but a triple play, it comes out of nowhere.
Saw the Buffalo Bisons turn a triple play in a much different fashion recently, a few days ago, I think. It went 5-4-2-1, or 5-4-3-2. There was a runner on third going home. That was the third out. They cut it down at the plate.
Toronto Maple Leafs announcer Thomas West called the first triple play in Barrie Baycats history last year. That happened on the road as well. So, a 1 pitch swing and a miss. Still just 1 out in the inning. A strikeout here for Frank Garces would be huge. James Smybert is on deck.
The left side of the infield still playing right at the lip of the grass, but the right side's moved a few paces back. Macabroda and Odd about 6 feet from that infield turf.
No balls, 2 strikes. Garces delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for IMP North. 2 down in the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts, Porcelato and Green.
104 strikeouts for Garces now on the season. And coming into the inning, I thought it was going to be unlikely if he can get to 105 at this rate, coming in with 103 pitches to start the frame, but very possible. You know, he's the kind of pitcher that dials it up towards the end of his outing.
Especially facing the Welland Jackfish, a team that doesn't strike out a whole lot. He has answered the call here tonight, keeping this ball game 2-1. Here's the first pitch to James Smybert. It's fouled off. You get the sense that Frank Garces he wants the baseball, and it feels like he's kind of just taking it upon himself here to keep this score close. Give this struggling lineup every opportunity possible to get back on top and come away with a win here tonight.
Jackfish, third least strikeouts in the IBL coming in tonight, 288.
Swing and a miss by Smybert. And Garces now with an 0-2 count. Two hits in the inning for the Jackfish. Weisner and Morello, they are aboard on third and second respectively. First base open, an 0-2 count here to James Smybert. Here's the pitch from Garces. Called strike 3! Frank Garces strikes out 3 in a row. The Jackfish strand 2 in the top of the 7th inning. The 2-1 Jackfish lead holds as we go to the 7th inning stretch here at Athletic Kulture Stadium on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
friends from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Seventh inning of play is brought to you by Sleeman Beer. Real ones know.
And how about this pitching matchup tonight between Teo Ortega and Frank Garces? A 2-1 ball game, bottom of the seventh inning. Frank Garces with 3 straight strikeouts to end the top half of the seventh to tie the Baycats' single-season franchise record for strikeouts.
Incredible performance, and coming off the field, you do not see that emotion from Frank Garces very often. He does that hook celebration, flexes a little bit, but also the yelling and trying to hype up the dugout a little bit more. You don't see that very often from the lefty. He's usually very reserved and very professional individual.
Gotta wonder if he'll be back out to start the 8th. Braden Pakala warming up in the bullpen, so that might have been it for Frank. He may have just dialed it up and got those 3 strikeouts, but boy, what a time for it after the Jackfish got 2 on to open the top of the 7th inning.
Well, the thing is for Garces, that's 120 pitches now. He came into the inning at 103, gave up a couple base runners, but then strikes out the side. 11 Ks on the game. Meanwhile, Ortega, his counterpart for Welland, facing Macabroda here, he's at 10.
Yeah, 120, doubtful that they would stretch him more than that, but if he does get one more strikeout, it will set the franchise mark. Nolan Macabroda to the plate. Just the 3rd plate appearance tonight. RBI single and a ground out. Here's the pitch, taking all the way, and it's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk from Teo Ortega.
Designated hitter number 0, Francisco.
First walk of the game for Ortega, and we mentioned it. His average is 1 walk per game through his previous 8 appearances.
Well, he's been able to hold opponents all year long through his 8 starts to an OBP of under 300, which is incredibly impressive. Ben Abram was the ace pitcher on the Jackfish staff last year, undoubtedly, but I think right now it has to be Teo Ortega heading into the playoffs.
First pitch fouled off for a strike. This crowd tonight has enjoyed an absolute treat. This ball game, 2-1, bottom of the 7th inning. Baycats with a man on. Nolan Macabroda at first base. Francisco Hernandez is at the plate. Ortega delivers. Swing and a miss.
Hernandez,
no balls, 2 strikes.
Struck out twice already, so he's looking for something to kind of boost his confidence a little bit, coming in as a DH.
No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Ortega to Hernandez. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 away for Noah Hull.
Third baseman number 28, Noah Hull.
This feels like game 1 of the IBL Championship Series, doesn't it?
It does.
These 2 teams, and then a rematch on Saturday in Welland.
It's just the buzz around the ballpark. It makes you like this is 8th game until the playoffs start for both teams, but you can already feel like everything's at stake in this game.
Well, this is the last time we'll see the Jackfish here in Barrie until a possible playoff matchup, if it happens. Only one other game on the schedule tonight. It's the Kitchener Panthers on top of the Brantford Red Sox, 3-0. Jack Couch Park, that would be a big win for the Panthers as they look to lock up that 8th and final playoff spot. Swing and a miss by Hull. If you're looking at the bottom of the standings, the Panthers and Red Sox currently separated by 6 games. Ortega to Hull with the 0-1, swing and a miss. Hull chased a high one. He's behind in the count 0-2.
Baycats need something out of the middle, bottom part of this order. 0 for 11 so far after that Francisco Hernandez strikeout. All the production, although there's not been much of it so far for Barrie's standpoint, has been from the top of the order.
0-2. And he wastes one outside. Hull lays off. Well, the Baycats offense, I mean, it's not been a good couple of games for them so far this week. Just 7 hits against Toronto. A ballpark where they typically put up some pretty big numbers offensively. And keep in mind, all 6 of their runs came in that 8th inning. The bats were pretty quiet the rest of the night. They've managed just 4 hits here at home tonight against Welland. Ortega's pitch, high and away.
When you look at the team batting averages across the IBL, the only team really close to the Welland Jackfish is the Barrie Baycats. 293 to 306 coming in today.
2-2 the count now. Clayton Keys is on deck. Macabrota the lead at first. Barrett holding him on. Here's the pitch from Ortega. Missed again, outside. Good take by Hull. The first 2 balls missed by quite a bit. That one not quite so much.
Got to imagine maybe there was some kind of conversation heading into this bottom of the 7th inning, from, players in the dugout, coaches, try and be a bit more patient in this 7th inning. Let the game come to you. Don't try and force anything, even though it's a 1-run game.
Payoff pitch. A high fly ball. Left field. And the catch is made by Brandon Huppe. 2 out in the inning for Clayton Keys.
Clayton Keys.
Well, as you mentioned, this bottom 5 hitters in this order tonight yet to get on.
Yeah, now 0 for 12. Not even a walk or anything to show for their plate appearances so far.
Pretty hard to come away with a win when your top 4 hitters have been the only ones that have gotten on base all night. Time was called momentarily. Looks like we got a right-hander stretching in the Jackfish bullpen. Nobody throwing at the moment, but some stretching going on. Packle of the left-hander throwing in the Barrie bullpen. Swing and a miss by Clayton Keys.
Well, with the way Ortega's been pitching tonight and how efficient that he's been, keeping his pitch count relatively low, that I wouldn't surprise me if he goes a full 8 innings.
Yeah, he was a good 30 pitches or so behind Garces in the pitch count. Two-1. Welland, the pitch, off speed. It's a called strike. 1-1. Or 0-2, excuse me. The walk to Macabrota interrupted a string of 9 in a row retired by Ortega. He's got 2 outs to follow and make it 3. A swing and a miss by Clayton Keys. Incredible pitching by Teo Ortega tonight. 7 innings in the books, and the Jackfish continue to hold on to their 2-1 lead. As we head to the 8th when we return here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
The eighth inning of play is presented by United.
Top of the eighth inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Here comes Braden Pakala, and here come the Welland Jackfish.
Pakala coming into his 12th appearance of the season, all in relief. He's had an 18 and a third inning so far, a 3.43 ERA and a 1-0 record, but his ERA earlier this year at one point was below 2. It was about 195. But his last couple outings, 4 2/3 innings total, he's allowed 4 earned runs and 11 runs total, so not really getting a ton of help from his defense in those 2 outings.
At bat for the Jackfish.
Yeah, his first 8 or 9 appearances of the season were nothing short of outstanding. Ran into a little bit of a rough patch a week or 2 ago. Still has the ERA at 3.43, and it's been a really nice turnaround season for Braden Pakala here in his second year in Barrie.
Faced Welland earlier this year in Welland, that second game of the season. He had 3 innings of work in relief, 1 earned run, 3 runs total on 5 hits, had 4 strikeouts. So those last 2 in that one are the only real quote-unquote blow-ups that he's had this year, but he's still been arguably the most reliable reliever the Baycats have outside of Carlos Sano.
Never hurts to have a reliable left-handed arm in your bullpen, and Pakala has provided that this season. Here's the pitch. Just missed high and away.
Looks like Pedro De Los Santos warming up in the Jackfish bullpen, a lefty.
Mullen has hit 2 deep balls to left field tonight. That one up high.
Yeah, he legged one out for a double. It was barely a double, just a relay throw got away from second base. The other one was a deep fly out.
Foul into the glove for a strike. 3-2. Frank Garces, 3 straight strikeouts to strand 2 runners in the 7th inning. Clean inning of work here for Pakala in the 8th. Tried to hold up. Did he? Yes, he did. It's a strikeout for IMP North, a strikeout for Pakala to start the 8th.
That breaking ball out of the hand of Pakala fooled Mullen. You can see he tried his best to hold up, but kept his hands in, and it just turned too far. It was a clear call from home plate umpire James Lyle.
So 4 straight Jackfish strikeouts. Porcelato, Green, Smybert, and Mullen. And a quick strike to Grayson Barrett.
Frank Garces stranded 7 runners in scoring position tonight.
On the ground, off Pakala, kept it in front of him, runs halfway there, and underhands it the rest of the way. Boy, the pitchers have been busy tonight. 2 down in the inning.
That was really impressive from Braden Pakala. he tried to get out of the way, but also, got a hand on that or a glove on it in between his legs, and that was what kept the ball in play for him, and easy 1-3 put out for the pitcher.
Yeah, and in that situation, you really only want to get in front of it if you can keep it in front of you. Last thing you want is to deflect the ball to a dangerous part of the infield that allows the runner to leg it out for an infield hit. So here's Brendan Luther. 1 for 3 tonight, RBI single in the second inning. That was Welland's first run of the game. First of 2 runs for the Jackfish here tonight. That is it. The go-ahead run, a strikeout that got to the backstop and allowed a run to score. That happened in the 5th inning. Gio Murillo scoring to make it 2-1. This one on the ground to Macabroda, dropped it, recovers, the toss to first, and Pakala dropped it. I'm not sure if they would have had him if he held on. Ultimately, it was Macabroda dropping the ball that made that play risky.
It looked like an easy play for Macabroda. If I were to score an error on anybody, I'd probably give it to the first baseman. It would have been a tough play anyway with, Luther's got some great speed down that first base line. And even if Pakala was able to hold on to that toss from Macabroda, Luther might have still beat it out.
I think Luther would have beat it out. Hard to say. It would have been close. Certainly that's a ball Macabroda would love to have back. It'll be the second Barrie error of the game. On the ground to third. Hull, long throw. It's in time for the outs. So the error is stranded. And Pakala gets the Baycats off the field in the top of the 8th inning. Still 2-1 Jackfish. As we go to the bottom of the 8th here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Barrie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Eighth inning of play is brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
James Anderson comes to the plate. It's a 2-1 Jackfish lead. What's the pitch count on Ortega tonight, Julius?
He's at 93. 93 pitches through 7 innings.
Amazing. He's been able to keep that pitch count under 100.
Like I said,
he has been solid.
Like I said last inning, it seems like he could go a full 8 based on how efficient he's been.
James Anderson, Adam Ott, and Noel McGarry Doyle will bat for the Baycats here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The bats have been quiet tonight, just 4 hits off Ortega this evening.
And only 1 walk as well.
A night like this with a big crowd in your home park, the first place team in town. You want to come away with a win, and the Baycats will have to do it in the late innings here tonight. Not the best night at the plate offensively for most of this lineup.
Yeah, Ortega's retired 14 of the last 15, and that only one was a leadoff walk in the 7th to Nolan Macabrota, so he hasn't even allowed a hit in 15 at-bats.
Here's the pitch. Called strike. And that is strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts. Keys and Anderson going down. Keys to end the 7th, and now Anderson to lead off the 8th.
That's 13 strikeouts now for Teodoro Ortega.
3 of the last 4. Just remarkable. And here comes manager Brian Essery. Perhaps that'll be it for Ortega tonight, but boy, what a job tonight.
It looks like Pedro De Los Santos is ready. Yeah, that's undoubtedly a career high for Ortega. His previous career high was 10, and he's done that twice. One of those was 3 starts ago. Or 3 appearances ago, pardon me.
1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Jackfish go to the bullpen. We'll step aside. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. If you're just joining us, what a ball game here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township. Baycats and Jackfish. It's the Welland squad up by a score of 2-1 here as Adam Ott comes to the plate with 1 out in the 8th to face reliever Pedro De Los Santos.
Pedro De Los Santos, a lefty, required on deadline day from the Brantford Red Sox. This year in 10 appearances, 4 of them starts, a 4.77 ERA and a 2-4 record.
First pitch swinging is on. It's a fly ball. Left field, and the catch is made by Brendan Hoope. 2 down in the 8th.
So I believe that last strikeout from Teo Ortega, I'm still trying to dig deep here and find it to confirm, but I think that was a Jackfish single game strikeout record. The previous high I could find, Enrique Saldana last year, he had 12 in his second start. So 13 on the game and 7 and a third for Teo Ortega. Incredible performance.
So definitely a season high and perhaps a record high for the franchise. First pitch strike to Noel McGarry Doyle. 5 Baycats in a row retired. 4 by Ortega, 1 by De Los Santos now in the 8th. Swing and a miss by McGarry Doyle, 0-2. You mentioned to me in the break, this is the 5th team in the IBL for Pedro De Los Santos. 0-2 pitch on the ground, right side. Throw is in plenty of time, and the Baycats go 3 up, 3 down in the 8th. We go to the ninth with the Jackfish looking for some insurance. Up 2-1 on the Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
To the ninth inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Jackfish on top 2-1, looking for more. Braden Pakala out for his second inning of work. He looks sharp in the eighth.
They're going to need him more than ever right now to keep these Jackfish at bay. One-run game. We've seen the Baycats have multiple walk-off heroes so far this year, especially with 6 extra innings wins. One of them coming against Welland here. This is kind of what we expected tonight. Close ball game, top 2 teams in the league.
Yeah, you could say it's what we expected, but I think the fans here expected more than 4 hits from the Baycats tonight. They have been weak at the plate. A high fastball to Jonah Weisner, the leadoff man. One for 4 is Weisner tonight. 2 runs, 8 hits for Welland, 1 run, 4 hits for Barrie, 2 errors for the Baycats tonight. Pakala's pitch bounces up to the plate all the way to the backstop. A reminder, these teams square off again Saturday night in Welland, and what a game that's going to be. 6:05 at Welland Stadium. Head down there, cheer on these Barrie Baycats. They had a great contingent of fans at Christie Pitts last night in Toronto. And I'm sure would love to have that support on the road again on Saturday.
Well, if there's any game for that to happen and to try and rally some fans to get down for a road game, Welland is it. You know how hostile of an environment that tends to be for the Baycats, and Jackfish bring the crowd. They have a lot of sellouts this year. Obviously, the most attended games in the IBL this year, and for good reason. They put on a great show and have a great baseball team.
Yeah, players have always said, you know, it's a tough park to play in if you're a visiting team, but the Jackfish have been very beatable at Welland Stadium this year. They have not looked like the same club that they've been on the road for whatever reason. Runner goes. Here's the throw from Anderson, and in safely is Jonah Weisner. The stolen base. Good throw by Anderson. It was a little high and just to the right of the bag. Morello was showing bunt. Looked like the infield was ready for it. Nobody out. Runner at second. Here's the pitch. Call strike.
You know, Welland 9-8 this year at home. Barrie 10-6.
So 9-8 at home for a first-place team.
Barrie and London at least losses at home this year, each with 6.
Pitches inside, and the count is 2-1.
Really just goes to show that no park so far this year. Maybe the playoffs changed things a little bit, but at least in the regular season, there's no real clear-cut home field advantage for any team in the league this year.
Really baffling why teams would struggle more at home, but that's what we've seen quite a bit this year across the Intercounty Baseball League. You would think players like the routine of being at home, sleep in your own bed, eat your own food. Here's the throw. It's low, and in with a head-first slide to third goes Jonah Weisner.
You can tell the frustration starting to set in now behind the plate for James Anderson. He knew right out of the hand that throw was a bad one. He had a bit of a reaction taking his mask off his helmet. We're talking about home records again. Last night, Toronto winning at home finally against any team, let alone the Baycats. That was their first home win in 10 games.
Yeah, there was a lot of buzz about that at Christie Pitts last night, and those fans, it was a good crowd last night. The losing streak hasn't seemed to hurt attendance at all. Ball gets away from Anderson. He looks the runner back. 2-2 count now. They've pulled out a lot of fun things at Christie Pitts this year in Toronto. They got like a laser fog gun or something like that on the field, and all kinds of new things for the fans to enjoy it. Seems like they've upgraded the PA system there as well. Correction, it's a 3-2 count. Pakala to Murillo. Called strike 3! It's brought to you by IMP North, and that has Murillo holding his head in frustration. He thought he drew a walk. Instead, he'll head back to the dugout.
Right fielder number 10.
Another big strikeout. It's like the third, maybe fourth time in this game where Baycats pitching has had a runner on third base and nobody out. So a situation they've had to navigate through a lot in this game. It's only come back to bite them once, and that was on the strikeout that should have ended the inning of Porcelato in the fifth.
Swing and a miss by Porcelato there, strike one. Last you mentioned to me 7 stranded runners by the Jackfish.
In scoring position.
In scoring position.
Bygar says.
Another one here in scoring position in this 9th inning. That's got to be frustrating for the Jackfish to have men on. They know that this lead should be bigger than 2-1. On the ground and through into right field. That'll bring home Jonah Weisner, and the Jackfish get their biggest lead of the night.
Seemed like a gettable ball there from Nolan Macabrota right under his glove. Didn't look like he had too far to go to his right to pick it up. But even then, it would have been a tough play to try and gun down Weisner at home plate.
Hitter number 1, Thomas Green.
Still just 1 out in the inning, and now 1 on. Here's Green. He's 1 for 4 tonight. And Green retrieves the bats of Porcelato as they'll bring that back to the Jackfish dugout. So the Baycats will have to surmount a 2-run deficit at least when they come to bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. Looking ahead, it'll be Brandon Hernandez, Tristan Clark, and Nolan Macabrota. 3 pretty good hitters to send to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. A high pop-up, should be playable. Adam Odd to his left, back on the grass, makes the catch. 2 down.
In best case scenario there would have been a double play, but you'll take that, keeping the force in. Against Smybert, who's 0 for 2, a couple strikeouts, but he has reached on 2 walks so far.
For whatever reason, he has not really been swinging the bat. I think it was the last strikeout. He took basically 5 pitches in a row. Runner goes. Pitches high, throw from Anderson. And a nice effort there by Hernandez, starting to his left to stop that one from going to the outfield. Porcelato takes second. 2 out of the inning, so best case scenario here, just forget about the runner, get the 3rd out. Smyber's at the plate. He's struck out twice. He's walked twice as well, so you want to throw him strikes. 1-0 from Pakala. And it hit his bat. Didn't swing, but it still hit his bat. Don't see that very often. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at second, Porcelato. Pacala with a delivery on the ground, backhanded by the first baseman, and running into the bag is Macabrota for the out. That'll do it. The Jackfish score one, and they strand one, and they'll take a 2-run lead to the bottom of the ninth. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
For Welland.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
Ninth inning of play is brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Ben Davy, Julius Hern, Matty Gale. We're at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township. Brandon Hernandez, Tristan Clark, and Nolan Macabrota will face Pedro de los Santos. The Baycats need 2 to tie and 3 to win as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning.
The last time Pedro de los Santos out against the Baycats, 2 appearances ago while he's still with the Brantford Red Sox, 5 innings of work out of the bullpen, 10 strikeouts. It seems like he's going to be more of a bullpen arm, especially a lefty coming out of the pen. Really valuable for the Jackfish down the stretch.
Lefty-lefty matchup here, and showing Buntis Hernandez. He pulls it back. It's inside. So Taya Ortega tonight with one of the most impressive road outings that we have seen this season. You were digging back into the archives to take a look at strikeouts and whether or not that was a franchise record.
It's not.
Season high. This one to left field. It'll stay in the park as it hangs up for Brandon Hoope.
It's definitely a season high, 13 strikeouts for the Jackfish, but the previous franchise career high, or since single game high for the Jackfish since they moved to Welland, as we get a mound visit here.
Not sure why they would make a pitching change, but the way De Los Santos was throwing, Brian Essery's going to come out and get the baseball, I think.
Yeah, they're going to give it the ball to Davy Mendez. It looks like he's on his way out. Maybe they want a righty-righty here with Tristan Clark coming up.
All right, so Mendez will come out and take his warm-ups. We'll step aside. Baycats with 2 outs to go, trailing by 2 here in the bottom of the ninth inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Third pitcher of the night for the Welland Jackfish is closer Davy Mendez.
And another really great arm for the Welland Jackfish this season, Davy Mendez. 0-1 record, but still a 2.81 ERA, 4 saves, going for his 5th. His last save, which was Sunday, the last appearance against the Hamilton Cardinals, actually put himself into second place all time in IBL saves, passing Baycats reliever Chris Nagorski.
First pitch to Tristan Clark, and he fouls it off. Clark tonight 1 for 3, singled in the first, could only get as far as third. Bounces up to the plate.
They're calling a swing on that. Clark can't believe it.
I can't believe that either. Certainly didn't look like he offered at it to me. 1-1 the count. Sorry, 0-2. They've changed it on the scoreboard here. 0-2 now. Mendez rocks into the windup. Here's the pitch. Misses away. 1-2 the count now.
Just goes to show how big that insurance run was for Welland in the top of the 9th.
Good crowd here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. They've stuck around. It's been a fast pace, quick game, low scoring, 3-1. Baycats still with an opportunity to try to keep this game alive. Here's the pitch, outside 2-2. Big crowd here tonight, and the next home game won't be until next week, Thursday. Toronto Maple Leafs are here Thursday night. That'll be a 7:30 start here at the ballpark. Baycats on the road Saturday and Sunday to finish off this weekend. Davy Mendez winds and deals, and another pitch outside, 3-2.
Well, he spiked one outside. He's had a couple fastballs go awry in that right side batter or left side batter's box. Tristan Clark being really patient.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 of those 3 balls missed by a lot. Clark may want to just keep his bat on the shoulder here. 3-2. Mendez is ready. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. A great take by Tristan Clark. The tying run comes to the plate. It's Nolan Macabrota.
First baseman number 20, Nolan Macabrota.
Here's a guy who with one swing of the bat can erase a whole lot of frustrations from this Baycat lineup through 9 innings here tonight. Macabrota tonight has reached base twice, singled and walked, drove in a run in the first, the lone Baycat run tonight. First pitch from Mendez, and Macabrota holds up on it.
You can tell Mendez is trying to reach back and pull a little bit more velocity out in his fastball, but Macabrota, again, just as patient as Tristan Clark was in the previous plate appearance.
1-0 the count. Clark to lead at first. 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch. Fouled back to the screen.
Everybody clap your hands.
How much of a gamble would it be here to put Tristan Clark in motion with 1 out? Just to try to stay out of the game-ending double play.
It would be quite a gamble. Clark's not really known as a base stealer despite his speed.
Not much of a lead at first right now. 1-1 the count.
Clark's only had 1 stolen base on 1 attempt.
Kind of surprising that he hasn't run a little more. Pitch is a called strike. Macabrota didn't like that. He thought it was inside. Doesn't look like Tristan Clark is going anywhere. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nolan Macabrota, the lefty. Waves the bat. Waits for Mendez. deals the 1-2. Fouled away.
Macabroda had to swing at that pitch and off-right a little bit, similar to what we saw the last strike called. He can't afford to take any that far inside anymore.
Macabroda with 3 home runs, 28 RBIs. Check that, 29, including his RBI tonight. Baycats trail by 2. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Middle infield, double play depth. It's Luther and Weisner. Ready for the ground ball. Mendez delivers. And another foul ball, left side.
Macabroda knows the stakes of this at-bat, just trying to stay alive and keep the pressure on Mendez. Mendez usually the kind of pitcher to have so much leverage with his high velocity and his reputation as a fantastic closer. Macabroda trying to turn the tables a little bit.
He's just been fouling them off, trying to keep this at bat going. Don't want to take anything too close to the plate here with 2 strikes. Clark the lead at first. Mendez deals. Shallow fly ball left field. Hoope runs over, reaches up, makes the catch. 2 down in the inning.
Just a little bit too much on that batted ball for Macabroda to get a hit out of it.
Good swing, but he just got a little bit too much underneath it. And now the game will come to the bat of Francisco Hernandez, who represents the final bullet for Barrie here tonight. Trailing by 2. Runner at first, 2 down.
From Hernandez and lower all the way down 5 through 9 in the Baycats order, 0 for 15.
That is the story of the game. Swing and a miss. Hernandez not even close, strike 1.
Hernandez trying to avoid a golden sombrero of sorts, 3 strikeouts, all to Teodoro Ortega earlier in this game.
We wanted cowboy hats, not sombreros tonight. Country night at the ballpark. 0-1, breaking ball, cuts inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Noah Hull on deck, hopeful for an at-bat here in this bottom of the 9th inning. 2 down. Francisco Hernandez, the potential tying run here. 1-1 pitch for Mendez. It's a high fly ball, deep right center field. It's got some carry to it. And the ball bounces over the center fielder and rolls all the way to the wall. Rounding third and coming in to score is Tristan Clark. It is a 3-2 ball game. An RBI double for Francisco Hernandez keeps this game alive.
Hard to see from our vantage point where that ball ended up. Center fielder Gio Morello got spun around a little bit, didn't quite have the best route to the ball, and it got over his head towards the warning track. And a pinch runner going to come in now, and Antonino Spencer Thompson in for Francisco Hernandez.
Pinch running for the Baycats, number 2, Antonino Spencer Thompson.
So Nino Spencer Thompson will represent the tying run. It's a 3-2 game. Noah Hull to the plate, 2 outs in the inning, and the drama continues to build.
He's been the walk-off hero before against the Jackfish this season. He's got a chance to do it again with 1 swing of the bat.
A home run would win it. A base hit could tie it.
And with Spencer Thompson's speed, you can believe your average single is going to score him from second base.
3-2 Welland. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Baycats with a tying run at second base. Mendez to Hull. And he takes it inside, ball 1. Clayton Keys is on deck if Hull can get aboard. That double by Francisco Hernandez, just the 5th hit of the night for the Baycats. Here's the pitch. Called strike on the inside corner.
Noah Hall has not had a hit yet this season. 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position and 2 out.
1-1 pitch from Mendez. And it's driven to right field, and a sliding catch is made by Mateo Porcelato, and that is the ball game. What a play by the Jackfish right fielder, and Welland holds on for a 3-2 win here tonight.
Incredible play by Porcelato. He nearly overran it, but comes up with a sliding catch, and Welland comes out of this one with a W in what was a pitcher's duel. Frank Garces and Teodoro Ortega racking up the strikeouts on each side, but the bats couldn't come alive early enough for the Baycats. Only 5 runs in this one. 1 run in the first and 1 run in the ninth, nothing in between.
Davy Mendez comes on and closes the door in the 9th inning, and the Jackfish win the opener of this home-and-home series. Taking this one here at Athletic Kulture Stadium by a score of 3-2. Don't forget the rematch Saturday night at Welland Stadium. Alec Murray and company will have that for us on Jackfish TV. It's a 6:05 first pitch on Saturday night. Baycats will then head to Kitchener on Sunday afternoon. Julius, Maddie, and I will be back here 1 week from tonight when the Toronto Maple Leafs are in town. We hope to see you here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. And we'll have the broadcast as usual for you on Rogers Cable 10 and Baycats TV on YouTube. For Maddie, Julius, and our entire Baycats TV crew, my name is Ben Davy. Until next time, good night from Springwater Township.
Once again, it's vintage throw. It's past the park night.
What a ball game, Ben. What a ball game.
That was a fun game to call.
That was a good game. No, it didn't.
And for our entire team here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, my name is Rob Daniels. Thank you so much for coming out. Please drive home safely, and we hope to see you back at the ballpark soon.